Welcome. In this video, we're going to go over setup and the basics of how to play the Transformers deck building game and then follow up with a solo playthrough. So down at the table, Transformers a deck building game is a game for 1 to 5 players. It can be played in 3 different modes. You've got solo, co-op, and competitive. Basically, they all work very similar. It's just on competitive, you're trying to get the most victory points to be the best Autobot out there. And then cooperative and solo, you're trying to go through and defeat the 3 different tiers of Decepticon bosses. So as with a basic deck building game, you're going to start with a basic deck. Throughout the game, we're going to acquire more cards to make this more efficient. But what makes this one a little bit different is instead of having a lineup or a bunch of stack of cards out here that you see, all the cards you're going to get are going to be face down, basically forming a map or a matrix is what they call it in here. And as you move through the board, you'll be flipping cards up. And then depending on what that card is, putting it in your deck or defending adversaries with those. So we've got several different Autobots. There is a expansion on the way that's going to have Decepticons that you can play. But for right now, we've got Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, RC, Ratchet, Bumblebee, and Ironhide. And for this playthrough and setup, I'm going to be playing with Optimus Prime. So our character cards have 2 sides. We have our bot side and then our alternate side. On this side, we're going to have a movement. So he's got a movement of 2 and an ability down here. When you flip an adversary in your space down here, you're going to get +1 power. You may transform prior to the ambush, so you can flip your card over for free. Then when battling adversaries on this side, you're -1 power. On the other side, don't have movement on this side. Each Autobot you play during your turn has +1 power, and of course each of the Autobots have different abilities down here. Then we have abilities we can spend Energon on, so if we spend 1, we can draw a card. Spend 2, we can block and attack at range 2 from us. So our starting cards that everyone's going to get, we're going to have 6 courage in here. And that's going to give us a power, which we use to purchase cards and also to attack. And we have an ability down here when we're confronting a Decepticon boss. We can spend an Energon to play the top card of your deck. Then after those 6, we're going to have 1 each of reserves, patrol, and firepower and fix. So reserves, it's going to give us another movement point. If you control 3 or fewer Energon, you'll gain 1. Got patrol, it's going to give us a movement. You may flip a card in adjacent space, and normally you have to spend a movement to flip a card in your space. But with this, you can flip one in an adjacent space, and that's orthogonally, not diagonally. We also have firepower, gives us 2 power and a range of 1. So normally you're attacking things in your space. This allows us to put 2 power towards an enemy and up to 1 range away. Then we have a fixed card giving us a movement. May return 1 damage controlled by any player in your space or an adjacent space to the stack, and spin an Energon to destroy 1 starter card you control. As you can see, all these are starter cards. We're also going to we've got some reminder tokens. They suggest you start with 3. So as you move, you can put reminders down here, your -1 movement, or something happens, you get additional power. You've got that. Also have several other tokens, start of turn and ongoing abilities as reminders. And plenty more Energon that comes in values of 1s and 5s. So off to the side, we have a big stack of damage cards that we don't want to get, but we probably will. They are basic cards. Ongoing, when battling an adversary, you must resolve 1 assist. That is for competitive play. So if you get damage, you need someone else to come help you so they can share in the victory points. In the game, for every 2 damage you control, you're going to lose a victory point. And when gained, they automatically go into play. Basically just going to go next to your character. So in cooperative or solo, if you get 5 damage on your character, you have exhausted your spark, and that is going to end the game. We also have a stack of transform and roll out cards. Costs to 2. It's going to provide us a power that we can use at a range of 1 and gives us a movement. Now, all the cards, when you play them, basically our resources are going to basically bank until we use them. But the text on the card gets used immediately. So with this one, you may transform for free. And like I said, normally you've got to spin an Energon cube to flip over. And this has an assist ability, so if you're helping someone else, it gives you +1 power. And of course, playing solo, there's no one, we're all by ourselves, so assisting, no one to assist us, and we've got no one else to assist. We also have a stack of encounter cards. These are all different. So whenever we flip a card with an adversary underneath of it, we're going to flip this and go through with an ambush, which is typically going to be an attack. Usually when it's a boss, the ambush hits all adversaries, so all the players on the board. And then when you confront a boss, you're also going to have an additional attack going on. So we've got a bunch of different of those. So you never quite know how bad the boss or attacks are going to be. Give that a nice shuffle. So looking on the back of the rule book, it goes over the turn sequence. We also have these player aids we can use too. So on your turn, you're going to have 5 cards. You may do any of the following in any order. So play a card from your hand to get movement or more power. You can move. Normally movement is orthogonally. There are some cards that give you flight. If you have flight, you can go diagonally. So that's movement. Searching, you spend a move to flip a card you're on. So we'll go over the card types here in a bit. You can buy or battle, so something you can purchase. Purchase cost is going to be in the upper left. And battling, amount of damage you need to defeat is the upper left. Transform, spending an energon to flip your card over, or confronting is going after the bosses here. You can do that once per turn. End of turn, announce that you're done. Refill the matrix, so any cards that are missing here, take the top card of the deck and put it in the matrix. And this stack is also the timer. So if any time you need to put a card in the matrix and you can't, or destroy a card here and you can't, that's going to end the game. And then cooperative and solo, if that happens before you've defeated one of each of the different levels, you've lost. So refill the matrix. If there are no empty spaces, you'll destroy the top card of the main deck. Unless it's a boss. If it is a boss, you'll destroy a face-down card down here to put the boss in. Then discard all your cards in your hand and any cards you played during your turn, except cards with the ongoing keyword or allies. Then you draw a new hand of 5 cards. So different types of cards you can get. So say we were here, we spent a movement to flip it over. We can see we've got a robot, Autobot, which is what we like. So upper left, we've got the cost and power need to spend, then what it'll provide us, special abilities if we purchase it, and the cards when you purchase are going to go to your discard pile. So if we were over here and flipped a card, we also have technologies, basically the same thing. You've got the cost, what they're going to provide for us. We also have maneuvers, same thing. We have sights, we're a little bit different. They're going to stay on the board and provide us a power depending on the text. Then we will have allies. Purchase costs up here. So the one thing different with allies, when bought or gained, you immediately put into play. So it does not go to your discard pile. And it'll stay there until something happens that says get rid of your allies. Then lastly, if you flip over, Decepticons, so you've got an adversary. So if that would happen during the game and we were sitting there, first thing we do is flip over one of our encounter cards and go through with the ambush attack. So this one says discard a relic in your hand, or one you control. You control none, gain a damage instead. So since we have none, we gain a damage and just put it next to our character. And then once that's resolved, we can attack there, spending a 2 power to defeat him. It's going to go to a victory point pile. So down at the bottom, you'll gain a victory point if you're in competitive play for co-op or solo. Whenever it says victory points, you will replace that with Energon. So this would gain us 1 Energon. Also during the game, if you move off of an enemy and then you move back on an adversary, you get another ambush card. So some other card types we have are Decepticon schemes. The game does recommend that your first few plays, you do not use these, so you can just remove them from the game. We also have relics, which will be used in competitive play, but for solo and co-op, they will be removed from the game. And then another stack is cooperative schemes. It does recommend that during your first few plays, you don't use these. in a cooperative game, but we will use them. But you do want those set out before you start setting up the board. And then again, we have our Decepticons. So level 1s, we have 2 of those. Both of those have basically a health of 6 we need to defeat with power and their reveal attack abilities. Then level 2, they go up to 8 we need to defeat with. And then level 3 going up to 10. So that is pretty much the basics of the game and how to play. So we will go ahead and move on to setup. We'll go ahead and take all these cards here. So mentioned we're going to be playing as Optimus Prime. So we'll go ahead and start in this form. We start with 2 Energon, and we've got a couple reminder tokens out there, and we'll take our standee. All the others we're not using, we can get out of the way. So we're going to take all the cards that we haven't removed from this set, give it a shuffle. Then we're going to form our matrix or grid, and that is going to be based on the number of players in the game. So if you look on page 4 of the rule book, if you're playing 1 to 2 players, your grid is going to be a 3x4. 3 to 4 players is going to be a 4x4 grid, and 5 players is a 4x5 grid. So take a stack of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3 deep, and fill in our matrix. And this one's the only stack over here that needs to be shuffled. We're going to grab our starter cards. Like I said, we've got 6 of the courage cards, then reserves, patrol, firepower, and fix. We're going to shuffle all those and start the game with drawing 5 of those cards. Then we're going to form our main deck, which is the timer for the game. And to set that up, we're going to create 4 stacks of cards here. Once again, going to page 4. It's going to let us know, depending on the number of players, how many cards go in the first 3 stacks. The 4th stack is always going to have 5 cards in it. So we're playing a 1-player game, so it's going to get 7 cards in each of those first 3 stacks. So we'll grab some of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the 4th stack gets 5 cards. And all the others are going to be removed from the game. So you can just see from that how that's set up and all the cards that aren't used. Lots of variability, so difficulty is going to be extremely random in this. Once we have this set up, if we're using cooperative scheme, the game comes with a base 5. We'll shuffle those and put 1 in the first 3 stacks. The other 2 are removed from the game. Then we'll go to our Decepticons. So we're going to take the 2 level 1s, randomize those, or if you want, you can probably pick who you want to play with. That goes in stack 1. Then we've got our level 2s. And our 3 stacks. Then we'll take the bottom 5, which is already randomized. Then the one that has our level 3 in it, give it a shuffle. So out of these 9 cards, you got 7 from the main stack, a scheme, and the level 3 baddie. Then this has the level 2 in it somewhere. And we're just putting that on top of this deck. And the level 1 is going to be in the first 9 cards. So give that a good shuffle, and that's going to set the game up for us to get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw our starting cards, and we are ready to play the game. So once again, our goal, we need to defeat the level 1, 2, and 3 bosses out of that deck before we go all the way through that stack. Also, if we end up with 5 damage cards on our character, we have lost. So here we go. Once again, turn sequence. We can do any of these items, then we'll end our turn and rinse and repeat until a game end condition is met. So when starting the game, you can fly anywhere you want to on the board. We will just go right there. Why not? So we are going to spend a movement to flip this card just to see what's there. We found a technology card, costs 4. In our hand when we play it, it's going to give us 2 power. Gives us a block ability, so if something goes to attack us, we can block. May pay 2 Energon to keep this card in your hand after blocking. And we've got an assist and confront power, giving us +4 power. So in our hand, we do actually have 4 power, so that is something we can purchase. We will go ahead and play this, so it's going to bank a movement for us. If you control 3 or fewer Energon, gain 1. Then we're going to spend 4. Purchase this card, goes in our discard pile. We're going to go ahead and use that to move, and then use that to see what's underneath this card. Found a dodge, costs 5 to get, giving us 2 power, which we can use at a range of 2 to fight, and movement. So ending our turn, we are going to refill the matrix, discard our cards, and then draw up to 5. And we don't shuffle this until we need to draw or do something with our deck. So next turn, we do not have 5 power. Let's see. We are going to play Patrol. It's going to give us another movement. When you play it, you may flip a card in an adjacent space face up. We'll see what came up here. Oh, our level 1 baddie already. So when revealed, we're going to follow through with this. So discard 1 ally you control, then resolve an ambush. We don't have any allies. So the ambush is going to be this. This adversary cannot be attacked this turn. So we weren't going to attack him anyway. All right, good to know where that is at. That does reset up. So we're going to move over here. And then spend a movement to see what's underneath. Got some energy swords. We have 4 power. So we will go ahead and spend that 4 power to purchase the card. We've got another move left. We'll play Fix. You may return 1 damage controlled by any player in your space or an adjacent space to the stack. And for 1 Energon, you can destroy a starter you control. We still control these. So I am going to go ahead and start calling my deck down. So I'm going to spin an Energon there. And we are going to get rid of a Courage card. And use that movement to see what's in here. Found a military base. So cards you play during your turn while on this site have +1 range. During other players' turns, your cards have +2 range. So ending our turn, need to draw. Don't have any cards there, so we will shuffle. And I did forget at the beginning of this next turn, after that happened, gain a damage. This boss cannot be defeated if any mini cassette Decepticons are in the matrix. So we do have a damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip those back. Start of our turn again. Maybe that's what these tokens are for, so it stands out more to me. Take another damage. We're going to fix it, returning a damage back to the stack. Gives us another movement, so we'll use this movement to go over here. That movement to see what's looking. We've got a drop ship with a cost of 5, but does 3 power. We have 4 power to play with. So we are going to play this, flip a card in an adjacent space, face up. Military transport. Ongoing, move 1 during your turn. That's not bad to get. So we're going to go ahead and move up there and then spend 2 to purchase that. And as an ally, go straight in. So ongoing, we get to move 1 free on our turn, which we'll go ahead and use. Then if we control 3 or fewer Energon, gain 1. We got another movement we'll use to see what's hiding under here. Got an Energon drill, gives us 1 power. Cost of 3, gain 2 Energon. If you're on a site, gain 3 instead. And that's, we're just not going to use. Ending our turn. That goes down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start of turn, take a damage. Use a movement to move over, use a movement to search. Found a drop ship, another cost of 5 card, which we do have enough to get. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And ending our turn. Fill in the matrix. Draw 1, reset. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. We're going to fix. Taking care of one of these. We are going to play that. We can control 3 or fewer Energon, so we'll gain 1. Got a patrol, so we're going to flip a card in an adjacent space. We'll see what we have down here. Optimus Prime. Let's see. We've only got 2 power here. Well, 3. We'll use that movement to search here. Energon Mine, place 12 from the general supply on this card. We can pay X power to gain X Energon from this card. When empty, destroy this. We'll go ahead and spend 3 Energon to get 3 tokens. 2, 3, 2 left over. Then we're going to move over here, hoping we get 5 money left. Then we're going to spend 1 to get rid of the reserves. So destroy a starter you control, and we're going to end our turn. Since there's nothing to fill here, we're destroying the top card. So we lost a military airstrike. Start of your turn, you may destroy 1 card in your hand. That is a good way to call your deck, but unfortunately, it got destroyed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start of turn, we take a damage. Hope we have, yep. Ooh, goodness. We might need to go fight Soundwave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power sitting there. Yep, we're going to use our 2 free or 2 movement on this card. 1, 2. It's going to trigger an ambush. Destroy the top card of your deck. Please don't be good. All right, we lost a courage. We're going to spend an Energon to flip over. We will spend an Energon to draw a card. And now we're going to initiate a fight. So we need to play our cards first. Let's see, we've got, may pay 2 Energon. Keep this card in your hand for after blocking. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 8. And we're going to keep this in hand. So for a confrontation, we're going to take all the cards discarded, shuffle in here. to make sure we have no idea how bad this is going to be. And now we'll see what the boss confrontation is. So add 5 to his cost. Not good. So that became an 11. So once again, we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can spend 1 to play the top card of our deck. That gives us 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to play another power during the confrontation stage, giving us +2 power. So we have a total of 12. He's an 11, so we have defeated a boss. We got a little bit lucky. We're going to gain 3 victory points, but in solo or co-op, that equals Energon. And we'll put this in a little victory area. And confrontations, once you're done with that, that ends your turn. So we will put that there, draw 3. And 2 more. And that resets. Let's see, we've got a fix. We're definitely going to use that to get rid of one of these damages. We'll play Patrol to see what's up here. Quick change, maneuver, you may transform. If this is the first card you play during your turn, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. Let's see, we'll use that as a movement to see what's underneath here. An Autobot base, site, pay 2 move, return up to 2 damage you control to the stack. Co-op, pay 4 move instead. And I think since we're playing solo, it's going to be the top. But since I'm not sure, we're going to spin to flip. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 movement. So return up to 2 damage you control to the stack. We've only got 1. Might have been 1 short earlier, but anyway, that is all set. Power, we've got 4 power we can use with, but we've got no money. So we're just going to buy one of these. Transform and roll out. End your turn. Since nothing can be replaced down there, we're destroying some stolen power. Nice. Cooperative steam not coming into play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, our next turn here. Would like to get Optimus or the other drop ship. So 2 movement. 1, 2. 5. Gets us Optimus. We've got 4 left. We'll use our free move. And then with the 4, we'll purchase 4 Energon. End our turn. Replace. And shuffle. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, some courage. We'll play Patrol to flip an adjacent card face up. Not bad. Let's see. That is enough to get our drop ship, which would be sweet. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Spending 5. got those left over, just not going to use them. We do have another move. We'll go ahead and move up there. And use Optimus's move to see what's underneath. Ground bridge. Got some power and a block ability. And the turn. All right. Let's see, we've got 5. Movement, we're good. I kind of do want all 5 money, or else I would destroy a card. So 1, 2, 3. We'll play that for another movement. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to purchase with. And we still have another movement left, which I'll move there for. Ending her turn. 2 cards. Got 3 more coming. Nice round. All right. We will play patrol, flip a card in adjacent space. Found Ratchet. Definitely want to buy that. So movement. Spending 5. And then we got 3 power left. So we'll move, 3 power. End her turn. Replace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Two movement, 1 more movement. We are going to fix, giving us 1 more movement, so we'll use that movement to see what's under here. Kyle Pennington. So once during each player's turn, if you're confronting or assisting target card you control has +1 power. Seems good. Going to destroy a starter we have. Getting rid of Courage. And we're going to spend 2 to get Kyle. That goes immediately into play. Then we'll play these. May put an Autobot from your discard pile on top of your deck. We'll put Ratchet on top. Got 2 more movement. 1, 2, and 5 money to purchase that. End her turn. Replace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Courage, dropship, transform and roll out, and some more courage. Movement to see what we have here. A heroic effort. Not bad for 4 power. We're going to use these 4 to purchase that. Then move over. Yes, search. We will then play Ratchet. You may destroy a card you control, destroying the Courage. So whenever you destroy cards over here, if you haven't spent the energy, you do lose them. And then we'll play that so you can purchase that card. And end your turn. Feel like I've got a good thing going on. I don't want to curse myself. So 5 cards. One, two, three, four, 5. All right, got a total of 7 attack. We're going to spend a movement to see what we have here. A quick change. Not too concerned with that. Use a movement. We'll bring out Fix. Use that movement to see what we have under here. Scavenger. So Decepticon, adversary, we get ambushed, which is lose to Energon. Do we have anything to block that with? No, we don't. It's only a cost of 3. So we are going to play Ratchet, may destroy a card you control. We are going to destroy Courage. That's enough to defeat him. So we're going to gain a VP and an Energon, which in solo means we gain 2 Energon. Then we're going to, let's see, use that for a movement. We will play Patrol. You may flip a card in an adjacent space face up. We found Starscream. So we do get the reveal attack. Discard an ally you control, then resolve an ambush. We are going to get rid of our military transport. Then get ambushed. Destroy the top card of your deck. That could hurt. Could have been worse, but still not the greatest. Then we're going to spend an Energon to destroy Patrol. Then we're going to play that. May move target character up to 2 spaces. We've moved on to an adversary, so we're going to get ambushed. Lose to Energon. And then we're going to end our turn. Refilling that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn. All right, start of turn. Discard 1 non-basic card. Which is going to be that. Spin an Energon to flip over. We're going to trade that in for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to spin 1 to draw a card. Optimus, nice. Let's see. So there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it may put an Autobot from your discard pile on top of your deck when we play that. May move target character. No. Gain an Energon. Gain an Energon. All right. So starting a fight. Shuffle these all up. And add 5 to the adversary's cost. Seems to be our theme. So need 13 to beat. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Spending 2, 13, 14. And we get to move 2 if we want to. We're not going to. So we have defeated Starscream, which is going to get us 4 Energon. Now we just have to find our level 3 baddie. So that's going to end our fight. Oh, and we had an additional 1 from that. All right, next card up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to spin an Energon to flip. Use a movement to see what popped out. Repair bay. Nope, I don't see any need for that. Movement. And then we have one more movement. So put that in, gets us 2 purchasing power. And all that, nothing to buy. Oh well. So we're not replacing anything, so we're going to destroy an Energon embargo. Nice. Second scheme. Man, I'm getting lucky. All right, just wanted to double check the rule book on those schemes. Looks like it's only the Decepticon bosses that need to worry about to bring into play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reset our movement. So we're going to spin the movement to see what's underneath here. Bumblebee. So 3 money gets that. We'll use Ratchet. And definitely not going to destroy anything we've got there. So we've got a purchase there. Then we'll use another move to come over here. Use that for a move to see what's underneath. And we got Sky Warp, so we're getting ambushed, and we need 3 power to defeat. The ambush is lose to Energon. Guess I should have looked for my block first. Well, yes, I'll block that so we can draw 2 cards. When you do flip adversaries, we get +1 power. We are -1 when battling adversaries, so that kind of evens us out. We need 3 there, which we can do with the drop ship by itself. And that's going to get us a Energon, and we may teleport 1 space. We'll teleport over there. And we'll go ahead and use a movement on that card to see what's underneath. Cliff Jumper, which we will purchase for 3. Well, I guess we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I'm just going to end my turn. And when we played these cards, each of those was gained an Energon. So this is going a bit easy for us. Hopefully didn't curse myself. So we're bringing out 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Pretty good hand. All right, we're going to spin the power. Uh-oh, Megatron. All right, final battle. Reveal attack. Discard each ally you control, then resolve an ambush. And the ambush is lose to Energon. Let's see. I've got no way to block it. Oh. I was going to flip. So we got +1 power for him coming out. We're flipping for free because of the card. The attack is lose to Energon. We can spin 2 to block that, or just spin 2 to because. All right, do I think I can beat him? 5, 8, 9, 10. I can put, if I put him in, I can put an Autobot in our discard pile on top. I'm going to cut it close. Yeah, we're going to do this. So we're going to play Optimus Prime. Put an Autobot from your discard pile on top. We are going to spend 1 to draw a card. Play that. So we've got 5, 8, 9, 10, 13 showing. We need 10. So final battle. So once we do pull out this card, we can't play any more cards, but we can still do our Energon abilities. So adding 5 out of all the cards, so it goes to 15. What did I say I was at? 13. So 5, 8, 9, 10, 13. We need 2 more. So we've got a top deck. So in Confrontation, it says play the top card of your deck. It does get played for free. So if this is 2 power, we win. If not, we got to try again. It is 2 power. And if needed, we could have spent 3 more Energon to get plus 2 power for each adversary boss in play, which would have been another 2 power. And it also gives us power for each adversary boss in play. So that is enough to take out Megatron. So that is the basics of how to play Transformers, the deck building game. Like I said, just because of how the main deck gets every time you play this game, sometimes it's going to go easy and sometimes not so much. And like I said, there is a co-op mode and competitive mode. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.